There is a light bulb in Livermore, California that has been on since 1901, 123 years. No replacement, no repair, just light. Now think about the last 7 things you bought that broke way too fast. Your phone slowed down the month a new model dropped. Your charger frayed at exactly the spot they don't cover under warranty. Your earbuds battery died after 18 months, which is somehow 3 months after the warranty expired. That is not a coincidence. What happened to your stuff, and what's been happening for 100 years, was a decision. A calculated, coordinated, corporate decision. And it started in a hotel room in Geneva in 1924. By the early 1920s, the light bulb had become too good. Engineers had spent decades improving them. Bulbs were lasting 2,500 hours, some longer. And that was a problem. Not for you, but for the companies selling them. Because a bulb that never dies is a bulb you never replace. So in December 1924, the most powerful electrical companies on the planet flew to Geneva. Osram from Germany, Philips from the Netherlands, Associated Electrical Industries from Britain, General Electric's European operation. They called themselves the Phoebus Cartel, named after the Greek god of light. Which, honestly, is a level of arrogance that should have been the first red flag. In that room, they made a single agreement that would quietly shape the design of nearly every consumer product built after it. They decided a light bulb should last no longer than 1,000 hours, not because that was the limit of the technology. The Livermore bulb has been proving that wrong for over a century. They set the limit because 1,000 hours meant repeat customers, predictable revenue, control. And here's where it gets darker, because they didn't just agree to this. They enforced it. Member companies had to submit their bulbs for cartel testing. If your bulb lasted too long, if it exceeded the limit, your company was fined, penalized, for making something too good. I'll show you exactly how that penalty system worked in a moment. And before this video ends, I'll show you the same logic being used right now, with a product that is almost certainly in your pocket. The light bulb was just the prototype. The logic of the Phoebus Cartel, engineer the expiry date, spread into almost every consumer industry over the following decades. In the 1930s, DuPont researchers discovered they could make nylon stockings that were nearly indestructible. Runs in your stockings were a solvable problem. They solved it. Then they buried the solution. Because stockings that last forever don't get repurchased. Alfred Sloan at General Motors turned this into a philosophy. He called it dynamic obsolescence. Every year, a new model. Not because the engineering changed, because the styling changed, making last year's perfectly functional car feel embarrassing to drive. He didn't hide this. He was proud of it. Keep the consumer always wanting the next thing. This is the world the Phoebus Cartel helped build. Not through some shadowy backroom conspiracy. Through boardroom logic that became industry standard. Back to that fine. The cartel built a grading system. Bulbs were tested by central labs. If a member's bulb lasted under 1,000 hours, fined. Quality floor maintained. But the real teeth were in the upper limits. A bulb lasting 1,500 hours? Fine. 1,800 hours? Bigger fine. The internal audit documents, recovered decades later by researchers, show the cartel tracked this with the precision of a compliance department. They built bureaucracy around the deliberate shortening of product life. And it worked. Between 1924 and the early 1930s, the average lifespan of a light bulb dropped from roughly 2,500 hours to under 1,200. Measurably, verifiably, on purpose. The Phoebus Cartel dissolved in 1939, broken apart by World War II, but it didn't end planned obsolescence. It normalized it. Remember that second open loop? In 2020, Apple paid $113 million to settle a lawsuit across 34 US states. The charge: Apple had deliberately slowed down older iPhones through software updates, a practice that became known as Batterygate. The slower your old phone ran, the more reason you had to buy a new one. The method changed. The logic didn't. The Phoebus Cartel needed a hotel room in Geneva and a team of lawyers. Apple needed a software update. We generate 50 million tons of electronic waste every year, the fastest growing waste stream on Earth. And most of it isn't broken because we were careless. It's broken because someone, somewhere, decided exactly how long it should last, and not a day longer. That bulb in Livermore is still burning. It was made before the meeting, before the agreement, before the fine. It was made when the only goal was to make something that worked. That bulb is still on. The Geneva meeting was 1924. But the same decision, the same logic, has been made at least 3 more times since then. Different industry, different room. Same result. One of them affects something you use every single day. Next video at Project Schema.